Under the cloak of night, when identity trembles and purity fades, the spirit of Lilith rises, silently seducing, distorting, and destroying destinies. Tonight, we expose her hidden agenda and reclaim what was stolen. Welcome, seekers of truth, to Awakened Pursuit. In our journey through spiritual warfare, we have faced the serpents of Python and the masters of Mammon. But now we step into deeper territory. Today, we unveil the spirit of Lilith, the force behind seduction, identity confusion, and the silent theft of purpose. The scriptures hint at her existence in the days of Moses, when God warned against spirits attacking children and nations, see Exodus 34:7, and later in the mysteries of ancient texts. She doesn't attack like a storm. She creeps in like twilight, blurring your boundaries and stealing your identity. Stay with me till the end, because whether you realize it or not, Lilith has been assigned to your story, and today we reclaim your identity. Before we go further, make sure to subscribe, click the bell icon, and share this message with someone who's been haunted in the silence. Who is Lilith? The shadow of seduction and rebellion. In ancient Hebrew texts and early interpretations of the Torah, Lilith was described as a night creature, a wandering spirit that preyed on weakness, loneliness, and rebellion. In Isaiah 34:14, the prophet wrote, "The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the jackals, and the wild goat shall bleat to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there." The screech owl here is translated from the Hebrew word Lilith. She represents the spirit of chaos that enters where divine order has been broken. According to ancient writings and the Book of Moses traditions, Lilith was said to have rebelled against God's design, seeking equality not through love but defiance. She refused to submit, symbolizing the spirit of independence that rejects divine alignment. In modern times, this same spirit works subtly, whispering through media, culture, and relationships, convincing people that rebellion is freedom and that submission to God's will is weakness. But the truth is, rebellion separates us from our Creator's covering, leaving the soul exposed. In ancient Jewish and extra-biblical writings, particularly the alphabet of Ben Sira, Lilith was said to be Adam's first companion before Eve was formed. She was created from the same dust as Adam, symbolizing equality in origin, yet she refused to submit to him in divine order. When conflict arose over authority and alignment with God's command, Lilith chose rebellion over unity. She spoke the sacred name of God and fled from Eden, severing herself from divine covering. In her departure, she entered a covenant of darkness, becoming a symbol of defiance, seduction, and spiritual independence that rejects God's structure for creation. This rebellion mirrors what happens today when humanity seeks fulfillment apart from God's will. When we desire power, freedom, or pleasure outside His boundaries. Lilith's separation from Adam represents the moment mankind began to exalt self-will above divine order, opening the door to chaos, confusion, and spiritual manipulation. Many who unknowingly follow her path today chase empowerment without accountability, love without purity, and spirituality without holiness. Yet the cost remains the same: disconnection from God's presence. Lilith is often regarded in ancient texts and mystical traditions as the mother of witchcraft, a dark feminine archetype that embodies rebellion, seduction, and spiritual manipulation. In Jewish mysticism and the apocryphal writings, she is described as the first woman who refused to submit to divine order, choosing independence over obedience. This defiance positioned her as the spiritual root of witchcraft, influencing those who seek power outside of God's authority. In modern times, this same spirit manifests through self-worship, New Age practices, and occult rituals that promise control, beauty, and power, but lead to spiritual bondage. The book of Isaiah 34:14 even alludes to her presence among desolate places, a symbol of spiritual wilderness where rebellion and deception thrive. Those operating under her influence often mix truth with lies, light with darkness, unaware they're aligning with the same ancient rebellion that opposed God from the beginning.
Calling out your name through visions and His word, the truth begins to shine. Awaken hearts pursuing what is holy and divine.
How Lilith operates. From the night to the heart. The spirit of Lilith manifests through seduction, confusion, and identity distortion. She is not only after physical immorality, but also after spiritual perversion, turning holy desires into self-centered lust. This spirit attacks both men and women, especially those anointed for purity, creativity, and leadership. Lilith's aim is to drain destiny through pleasure, a counterfeit intimacy that disconnects a person from divine covenant. In today's world, you can see Lilith's influence everywhere. In entertainment that glorifies sensuality, in music that promotes rebellion, and in ideologies that distort gender and purpose. Many unknowingly invite her presence through pornography, lustful desires, or toxic relationships, things that appear pleasurable but secretly enslave the soul. The Bible warns in Proverbs 7 about the adulterous woman whose house is the way to hell. That's not merely a woman. It's a spirit that seduces the heart away from God. The modern manifestation of Lilith. Today, Lilith doesn't appear as a demon in the dark. She walks in broad daylight through media, culture, and even spirituality without substance. You'll find her in ideologies that teach self-worship instead of surrender, in movements that distort true femininity or masculinity, and in messages that glorify me instead of he. This spirit uses glamour and self-gratification to make rebellion look divine. You see, Lilith doesn't need to roar, she whispers. She makes the unholy seem natural, the forbidden seem liberating, and the wrong spouse seem right. Her mission is to disconnect generations from divine purpose by breaking marriages, seducing ministers, and turning hearts away from truth. But as 2 Corinthians 11:14 warns, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Today, the spirit of Lilith reflects in the education system reveals itself through the subtle removal of God, morality, and divine order from learning spaces. Once, education was rooted in reverence for truth and wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, Proverbs 9:10. But today, many classrooms have replaced God with self-worship and relativism. Lilith's spirit thrives wherever rebellion against divine authority is normalized. It teaches children that truth is subjective, identity is fluid, and discipline is oppression. This mindset slowly detaches the young from their creator and replaces spiritual wisdom with intellectual pride, producing minds that know much but lack understanding. In modern times, this influence can be seen in systems that glorify knowledge without purpose, success without ethics, and liberty without responsibility. Students are often taught to be their own gods, following their desires and rejecting moral absolutes. Lilith's rebellion has evolved into a curriculum that promotes confusion, especially around identity, gender, and the nature of creation. The same lies she whispered in Eden. Yet, as believers, we are called to reclaim education by teaching truth infused with divine wisdom. When we invite God back into learning, the spirit of rebellion loses its grip, and young minds are awakened not just to knowledge, but to purpose and destiny. Parents, in these times, must be spiritually discerning and vigilant about the kind of schools they entrust their children to. The spirit of Lilith hides in curriculums that subtly twist truth, glorify rebellion, and normalize confusion. Before enrolling a child, parents should take time to pray for guidance, research the school's values, and observe what it promotes. Is it building faith and integrity, or eroding them through worldly ideologies? A school may offer the best academics, but if it disconnects a child from God, it is a silent battlefield. Teach your children early to question what does not align with Scripture. Remind them that intelligence without divine wisdom is emptiness. As parents, your voice should be louder than the culture's. Talk, listen, and pray with your children daily before they step out. Education is not neutral. Every lesson plants a seed, and you must ensure it's one that leads to purpose, not rebellion. Finally, beloved, it's time to rise up. If you've felt trapped in cycles of lust, confusion, or spiritual dryness, know this: you are not cursed. You are chosen. God is awakening your spirit to fight back, not with fear, but with truth. As Psalm 51:10 declares, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." To overcome Lilith, you must return to your first love, to God, in purity, worship, and obedience. Declare with me, "I break every covenant with deception and darkness. I align myself with the Spirit of truth. My mind, my body, and my destiny belong to God alone." In our next episode, we'll expose how Chemosh operates in modern life, through workaholism, toxic ambition, and family curses that pass suffering down generations. We'll uncover how many have unknowingly been offering sacrifices to Chemosh, not on an altar, but in their daily choices. Stay tuned, beloved. Click the bell, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs freedom. Because next time on Awakened Pursuit, we're confronting the spirit that feeds on human suffering and destiny exchange, and learning how to reclaim your peace and purpose in Yeshua's name.
This journey of faith starts here with you. Hit subscribe, let the Spirit move, together in truth, with every view. No matter where you're from, all are welcome here, to grow in love and wisdom, and draw the Father near. Christian life for every soul, faith to rise above. In every video, feel His truth and love. Click the bell, be the first to know when the Spirit speaks, we